Grandmother was so well, she seemed like such a little thing, and but yet she was really vicious when it came to killing chickens and slaughtering pigs, and we always laughed at that because it seemed so funny that, so in contrast to what we expected of her. Of course, Grandpa was always very quiet, and Grandma was the powerhouse, the little powerhouse.
The power behind the man.
Yeah,
right?
she really was. I know it. But
was she the beginning of the USO in the Milwaukee area?
Well, what she did was have us invite there were a lot of sailors from the base, and she'd always have us invite a lot of them over to the house for dinner, and then she would give them a very sumptuous dinner, and then she always made sure that when they went back to the base, that she would have a goodie bag with food for them, for each one of them, and she was really their favorite, because she was so wonderful and a hostess.
Oh, yeah.
But she was really cute. Well, of course, she was the first civilian to have the suction type limbs.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Because she was small enough, and they had developed them for the soldiers who had lost their legs in the war. And so, but she prepared herself for that because she had a physical therapist come to the house and helped her build up her muscles, her upper arm muscles, so that she would be able to handle the legs. And so she used to go by herself many times to the movie theater down the block, the Astor.
Yeah.
And she'd always go with a little bag of goodies because she'd sit through the double features.
Okay.
And she'd always sit in the last row. But we used to get a kick out of her because she'd go by herself, and we really admired her. Her ability to do something like that, and the courage.
And it was probably good exercise going that distance.
And not only that, but it wasn't something that little Italian ladies did. They didn't do anything like that. And she loved to go shopping, and she'd go shopping many times with the streetcar that was in her right next to the house. Yeah. And every time she'd go, she'd always come back with some new decoration for her hat.
Oh, that's right. She loved hats.
"What did you buy us?" And she'd have something that she would always bring us. But she enjoyed doing that. And she was one of the first little Italian ladies that had her hair cut.
Really?
And that was another thing that I thought was very modern. Yeah. Well, and during the war, she would do something else that was considered very modern. She'd take all of us, and go to one of the taverns right on Buren and Brady. Okay. And we'd have a drink, and of course the old-fashioned ladies thought that it was scandalous.
Oh my! Bringing young girls to the tavern, huh?
And she'd enjoy. She'd enjoy it too.
Tom Collins, is that what she liked?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
That's what she did. Was a Tom Collins. So it was fun.
Oh, sure.
We were real proud that she had modern ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. So well, it kind of showed up in your ideas as you became an educator.
Well, I think in all of us.
Yeah. Sure. Did she talk about her childhood much?
She didn't talk too much about it, but one thing happened when she was a young girl. She almost drowned.
Oh, that's right.
In the waters near there. And unfortunately, she kind of instilled in us the fear of water.
Oh, yeah.
So we'd go to the beach, and we'd have all kinds of fun, but we didn't go far into the water because she would have been very upset.
Oh,
And
sure.
we, of course, and it's ingrained in you,
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't think of it. And we didn't need to. We had a lot of parties out at the beach, beach parties and marshmallows and weenies and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
all kinds of,
Fun,
good
yeah.
things like that.
Sure.
So we didn't miss the other part,
Oh, that's good.
But she was really
N-
quite remarkable.
Yeah, Nana talked about she used to have dances where she would invite friends over, the boys
yeah.
and the girls got together.
Oh yeah. Well, she always encouraged our inviting our friends over, and we'd roll up the rug and dance, and she'd make sure we had plenty of treats because she really wanted us to have friends, but she wanted it to be under her supervision too.
Very wise.
I mean, she wasn't really too dumb about that.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
knew that we would want to see our friends,
Sure.
but she really was.
Oh yeah. Now, were you living in next to the
On
store
Brady.
on Brady Street there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you
Well,
spend all your childhood there?
I was 3
Okay.
when we moved there.
Ah.
I was born right across the street from Cash Street School.
Oh.
Yeah, and then when I was 3, my father bought this property. It was really 2 properties. One was a little store. It was a plumber store, hardware store, and the house, which was a 2-story house. But then after he could no longer walk, when he woke up paralyzed, he realized that he needed to generate some income. So then he had the 2 buildings remodeled into one.
Oh.
And then he had a store on the first floor, and then he had a flat built above the store.
Oh. Okay.
And he connected the 2 buildings, and then the house portion he divided into 2 flats and enlarged the first floor. So I mean, at least then there would be some income.
Oh, that's
And then
nice.
of course, what started as just kind of a little side issue, a little store, which he thought was pretty interesting to start, became our livelihood. And your grandmother and Auntie Connie had to quit school and work in the store to support us.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that was the feeling that was built into our family.
Yeah.
That everybody pitched in,
Sure.
and for the good of everybody.
Well, was that through the Depression then?
Yes, it was
Yeah.
around
Around then.
maybe a little later, but still, it was really a godsend.
Oh
I was
yeah.
able to do that,
Oh sure.
But your grandmother went to vocational school 1 day a week, to
Yeah.
fulfill the age. But that didn't make any difference to her. She was president of this and president of that. She was always very ambitious. And we always used to laugh because even though she went 1 day a week, she managed to get into all the
Clubs.
activities. I mean, we really had to laugh.
School was an accessory.
Yeah, I know it. I mean, that would. But she really got into everything. But we really were very grateful for both her and
yeah.
Auntie Connie.
Yeah.
Because they sacrificed for everybody.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
Now, she was in the Florentine Opera Company.
Yeah. Well,
then?
so was Auntie Connie.
Auntie Connie.
And your grandmother and Auntie Annie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was. They all were in it. I was in high school yet.
Okay.
So I was.
Too
I
young,
used to go to all the rehearsals and take my homework with me.
Really?
It was really funny. I learned all the songs just by sitting there and doing my homework.
That's
I
cute.
never joined. I never really had the time.
Yeah.
Because then I was always going on to further education, But I enjoyed it,
Yeah?
I could sing all the songs.
Oh. Did you help them practice?
Maybe not well, but I could sing them anyway. And of course, what I used to enjoy was that afterwards, a whole group would go out and have something to eat or
Oh,
refreshments. And
that's nice.
of course, I joined them.
Oh, sure.
I
Why not?
after all,
Yeah.
in for $5, go for 10.
Okay.
But it was
Oh,
enjoyable.
sure. So when did you meet Dick?
When did I meet Dick?
Yeah.
I met him through, Connie Stein and Don.
Mm-hmm.
And each of them had been, she had been telling me that I should meet him.
Yeah.
And Don had been telling Dick that he should meet me. But neither of us was interested. I mean, I had a good social life. I had a lot of fun. And
Sure.
I was working and traveling, and I didn't need anybody. And he was, he had his own life.
Yeah.
So finally, one day we got a phone call, and it was Dick, and he asked me to go out.
Oh.
And I said, oh my gosh, he really wants to. Well, and it turned out to be his birthday.
Ah.
And I always told him that was his best birthday present.
There you go. That's cute.
But the funny thing was, when I saw him for the first time, when he stopped at the house to pick me up, I had the funniest feeling. I said, my goodness, I think this is the one I'm going to marry.
My.
Yeah, it was really strange.
It
And I
is.
was not looking for a husband or
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
because I was getting along very well without
You didn't need men.
No, besides when I went to Italy the
Oh,
year
yeah, you had a
before,
proposal then.
Yeah, I got a proposal and everything else, and I had made up the story
That's
that I had a boyfriend, a German boyfriend back in Milwaukee.
And that just
I
came
had-
out, didn't it?
Yeah, and I had not met Dick at
Yeah,
that time.
yeah.
But that was the funniest thing. So I said, neither of us wanted really to meet
Mm-hmm.
anybody, as we were fine. We were doing very well without each
Mm-hmm.
other. But then it just kind of clicked.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How long did you court?
We got married about 1.5 years after that.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one, as I said, I was the best present he ever got.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Did he ever acknowledge it?
Well, he'd laugh.
Yeah. Okay.
You better not say anything. I don't. The temper would have shown. Oh, that was funny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really.
Now, that was after he was in service or before?
Whoa, I didn't know him in service.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 1950. I met him in 1957.
Okay.
56 or 57.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We married in 58.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he was home from service a good 10 years
Sure.
by that time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So when you went to London,
Yeah, the last trip that we went to London was full of all kinds of experiences. And it was really funny because it was a TWA theater trip.
Okay.
But it was a self-directed one where we would be at a hotel and the representative from TWA would come every morning and tell us about different opportunities, and then we'd select where we wanted to go or what we wanted
nice.
to do. But that trip had so many interesting things happening. I remember one of the things was that, Uncle Dick was always anxious about everything. But anyway, the TWA person came in and said, oh, there's some problem about your return trip. And Uncle Dick was ready to climb out of his shoes.
Oh.
And he said, oh, no. And they said, yes. He said, well, before we left, we even have our reservations and our seats and everything. And she said, well, I've been informed that there are no return reservations for you.
Oh, my.
So she said, well, I'll go to the TWA headquarters tomorrow. That wasn't good enough for Uncle Dick, of course. He said, no, we're going to go now. And by that time it was like 20 to 5 and the office was going to close
Oh, boy.
at 5. So we said, She said, well, I'll do it. No, 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 I got to get this settled. So we jumped into a cab, and the driver said, I don't know exactly where the office is. You look out one window, and you look, and I'll look out the other. So finally we go to Piccadilly Circus, where it was located. Right. So Uncle Dick and his anxiety, by that time it was like 10 to 5. He jumps out of the cab, and there's a bus heading his way. He forgot about the different day. The bus almost hit him. And I said, look where you're going. No. So anyway, we did get to the office, and we got there about 5 minutes to. And we found out, because our name was so long, the computer couldn't handle it. So they had a Grafenberg, Richard and Sarah, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but that didn't translate to them that it could possibly be Richard and Sarah Grafenberger from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So we got that straightened out. But that was funny. Then there were so many things that happened in during that trip. It was one of the hottest summers in London. So since we were committed to see a number of plays and shows, it was hot. Most of the theaters were not air conditioned. So the men couldn't wear jackets. It was too hot. So anyway, we did enjoy some of the shows. Then we kind of wandered around, at Hyde Park and in the business section. And then we started eating at some of the stores. And we found out it wasn't what we wanted to eat. We weren't getting a good balanced meal. So then we decided we'd eat at the hotel. And it was wonderful. They had marvelous restaurant. And they also had a place where there was a buffet, a very expansive buffet. And we enjoyed our meals there. And then there was one of the people in the restaurant who was very expansive, and we found out that he was like one of these sheikhs, like an Arab sheikh or something. And he thought the world should revolve around him. But it was fun watching people. And then we'd have tea in the afternoon. And there was a really nice little dainty lady who would come in for tea every single day. And she and Dick would talk, and then he'd say, I was in the Air Force and I helped save your country. And she'd, oh, thank you, thank you. But anyway, he had more fun, with that. But on the way home, it was really funny, because Uncle Dick was sitting in a seat, and all of a sudden the air conditioning dripped and dribbled all over him, and the poor man, and it was so funny. And then all of a sudden someone said, I think someone died in one of the other sections of the plane. I know it. So we said, this is going to be interesting. So as we landed, when we landed, the pilot said, please do not leave your seats. He said, we have too much luggage. They were trying to cover up the fact that they had to remove this dead woman. So they said, we have too much luggage, so the plane will tip over unless we take some of the luggage off. It was really funny. So anyway, they took they waited and took the woman off. Then they let us get off. But then we could see that they took the woman into the safety area, and then the baggage got caught. The machine, the
carousel,
wouldn't work. So then some of the handlers had to climb up and drag the baggage down. It was really funny, because everything that could go wrong went wrong. So Uncle Dick talked about that for a couple of years.
Was he ready to go on another trip soon?
Not there. Then after that was always the cruises that we liked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So he was very pleased with, and I like cruises.
Oh, yeah. Where'd you go on cruises?
Oh, we went to the Caribbean about 3 or 4 times, and we went to. We took the Queen Elizabeth II. We always wanted to go on that. We took that to on one of the cruises, and to Bermuda, in fact. And then the one that we really liked near the end was the cruise on the Mississippi.
Really?
That was a wonderful cruise. We flew to New Orleans, and it went all the way up to the Mississippi, but not to the northern states, because with that we were familiar with. But we enjoyed that thoroughly. It was, I think, an 8-night cruise, and then we would go back to New Orleans, and then we flew back home. Though we stayed in New Orleans for a couple of days before the trip and a couple of days after. We enjoyed New Orleans, we really did. But it's a shame.
It's a
lot
shame.
of the things that we saw, like the aquariums, some of the other landmarks were destroyed by the hurricane. But we truly enjoyed it. We had been to New Orleans before that, some years before, but we saw so much. Of course, we did a lot of walking and eating.
Oh.
Because when you go to New Orleans, they have marvelous food.
Yeah.
And so to enjoy it, you have to walk it off. And that's what we did.
Oh, good.
One of the things that was very interesting were the cemeteries.
Oh, I imagine pretty old.
Yeah, because they're above ground. And we saw the crypts of some of the famous people, like the pirates, the Lafitte.
Really?
John Lafitte. Yeah, really, it's interesting.
Oh, yeah. So now, you took a number of trips with Auntie Annie, didn't you?
We took what?
You took a lot of trips with Auntie Annie, didn't you?
Yeah, well, Uncle Dick, for a while, didn't want to go to Europe. Because he had seen so much during the war. But Auntie Annie and I and her sister-in-law and Jenny, my friend, the 4 of us made about 4 trips to Europe together, and really had marvelous trips. We took the Perillo tours, and they were excellent, really excellent. And we went, well, part of it was England and so forth, but a lot of it was in Italy and Switzerland, and then we also took one for Sicily, and that was nice. You know,
oh, yeah.
I saw the changes that had taken place in Sicily, and when we went there, because they had built a highway around the entire rim of Sicily, which made it a tourist.
Were you going to go back and find your old flame?
By that time, well, see, the first time I was there in 1955.
Okay.
And so I think he would have been, when we went to Sicily, must have been 1980 something.
Yeah.
In fact, it was 1981. Because that's the year that Prince Charles and Diane got married. And we watched the wedding on television in one of the resorts there.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and of course, in 1955, I got my proposal.
Yeah.
He was so struck with me, and it's amazing. I think he was struck with the idea of coming to America.
A little bit more, yeah.
He wasn't so dumb. But I thought, oh my God, is this what I'm going to face? You know?
Yeah.
So I thought I'd cut it off right away.
Sure. Well, the rest of the relatives were very cordial, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Well, you know, there was a prisoner of war camp at Camp McCoy during the war, and there were a lot of Italian prisoners there, and a lot of them tried to meet girls here, Italian girls here, to marry them and stay, and some did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. some did
Well, you
manage.
missed a second chance there.
Yeah. They figured, well, it's a good way of
Coming to this
staying
country.
here. Yeah.
Sure.
But that was interesting too.
Oh yeah.